in this video the final results and the final video also in this series about that absolute basic 2 transistor 1 FET field effect transistor radio to receive AM radio stations. And it works best on the so-called medium wave. In the Netherlands there are only, as far as I know, 2 stations available on medium wave now. Radio Columbia, as far as I know, in Rotterdam. As far as I know, on 1.3 megahertz. And another radio station, and I will demonstrate it. I can also receive here in the region where I live, in the Netherlands, the Utrecht region, a radio station from London. As far as I can hear, it is, say, a radio station focused on Indian people. People from India, that's what I mean. And well, I want to demonstrate again the circuit. Here is what you have already seen in the earlier videos. Here is the coil with which you can receive, and I receive, frequencies in that medium frequency band, medium wave, going from 800 kilohertz to approximately 1.6 megahertz. I've used a tuning capacitor here. I know that it is could be or is in a certain way a problem because they are now very, very expensive. Perhaps I will do another experiment with which you can, say, avoid the use of such a tuning capacitor, expensive tuning capacitor. One idea could be, and I will also try to demonstrate that you use that radio only for one AM station. And then you only have to tune the coil with that ferrite rod inside here to that radio station. And instead of that variable capacitor, you can use a fixed value capacitor that costs, say, 10 cents or so. And you tune in here via slug tuning that antenna coil. That's, say, also a very good and cheap possibility, especially when you are, say, listening to one radio station on AM almost every day. So again, the schematic. Important to tell, the coil goes directly to the gate of the field effect transistor. No capacitor inside here, directly to the gate. It only works in this case with a 3 or 4 meter indoor antenna, simple piece of wire, and the capacitor here that couples the antenna to the top of the coil is also critical. That's important. I've used here 27 picofarad. You can also use 14 picofarad. You can also do experiments in that range between 10 picofarad and, say, 30 picofarad or so. When the antenna wire is somewhat longer, you need a smaller capacitor. When the antenna wire is shorter, you need a bigger capacitor, antenna capacitor. Normally such an antenna is never connected to the top of the coil, often here, somewhere here on the coil, but anyway. How is the coil made? This is the info about the coil. 49 windings, ferrite rod inside. The paper roll is 12 millimeters. Tuning cap is between 200 and 500 picofarad. Well, let's listen. Put down the camera. It can take some time to show everything. Anyway, well, it works on 12 volt, also very important. When you go to higher voltages, the circuit can easily start to oscillate. So Of course, this is no advertisement for this radio, this distorted sound, but you can say, correct that by, I hope it's visible, here setting the high frequency amplification to the FET to a lower level. I will try it. To another radio station. I can't do this too long because otherwise I get a copyright claim from YouTube. So a few seconds again to trying to find another radio station. Well, this is that radio station that I talked about.
It's another brand new entry, this time around from the one and only Rotterdam. Leica Radio Weekends. Supermarket shoppers of Britain. You are the supermarket of the year. And with Ribbon Plus Bakery Super Thin, we're putting even more super...
And I was talking about Leica Radio, and as far as I know it is in London.
Savings with a little black. 18 plus TV residents, once again for day, various prices available, subject to availability. Offer.
So, the quality of the sound, well, is perhaps not ideal, and I'm sure that you can get a better sound quality when you tune the whole thing somewhat better. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. It is an experimental circuit. It is a properly working circuit. It always works. Don't go to higher voltages because the thing can start to oscillate. Lower voltages is in general never a problem. Let me go to 9 volt. 9 volts. See what happens there. Perhaps interesting to show. I have to lift up the, of course, the high frequency amplification a little bit, because we are now on a lower voltage. And perhaps interesting to tell, to get to a higher quality, you can move the ferrite rod a little bit out, then the quality of the coil gets somewhat higher, and then tune again. I will demonstrate that. I will also demonstrate that you can also tune in the radio stations via slug tuning via this ferrite rod. So when you have a more, say, when you make the inductance via the ferrite rod smaller, in general you go to a higher Q, higher quality factor. But of course on, say, medium wave, where this all is demonstrated, the effect is not very big. But of course feel free to do, for instance, an experiment with such a coil. This is a good coil to do such an experiment with. And I'm almost sure that it also works on the medium wave. With a ferrite rod stick into it or not, or move it in and out, etc. Anyway. So, I tune again to a radio station. So,
Events, brought to you by recommendation and Avari Events. Exclusive media partners Leica Radio and Sony TV UK.
Thanks for watching. I think everything was told. The schematic again for a small moment. Thanks for watching.